Sain is the person that has to perform in front of people. Sain is the person that, even if I may not rock with your energy, I may still have to do business with you. So you're gonna do business with Sain, because he can differentiate the two. Sain is much more outgoing. Sain is the extroverted side of me. Matt don't like people.
I'm on my way. When you call on my phone, when you're home, say you're so lonely. You can call on me. I'm on my way.
My artist name / stage name is Superlative Sain. It means the best of to bless. As a kid, I was definitely artistic. I used to sing with like my mom and like my sister and my grandmother and shit. But I wasn't really interested in making music like that. I was more so interested in listening to music and vibing out to music. That was that. But I was always creative as a kid. I used to draw like full-length comic books. I got into photography in like junior high school. I got into like computers and like coding and stuff in like junior high school. So I was definitely always into like creating in the arts and artistic like shit like that. But I got into music like heavy in college. I want to say like in college. I got into like creating music heavy like my first year of college. It's crazy. I went to City Tech. I wasn't even rapping at that time. Like a friend of mine, well, she's not even a friend of mine anymore, but at the time she was a friend of mine. She introduced me and my current best friend. She introduced us in the cafe in City Tech, and she was like, "Oh, you sing. He sing too. He rap too. So be friends." That's literally how we became friends, and that was really my introduction into creating music, because my bro Diverse, he was at the time like rocking with like Audacity and Mixcraft, and he was like already recording his own vocals and shit like that, and it inspired me to want to also record my own vocals, because we were like, oh, we tired of the same old that we hearing on the radio and all of that, so we want to like start putting out our own music. And we did that for a while. We would like, I downloaded Audacity and Mixcraft onto my own computer. I used to have like a Windows computer, and we just like would record our music on Audacity and Mixcraft, and we'd just be up in my crib drinking like wine and shit and recording music. I had like a little the Sam1 or Samsung. I had one of those microphones. It still did the job. We ain't know how to mix or nothing. Quality of it sounded atrocious. Now that I listen back to it, now I'll be like, man, why did we put this shit out? This shit sounds terrible. And it's not even like what we were saying, more so it was just like quality wise, it just didn't sound good. At the time, Matt was heavily skateboarding. Like, this was like the blossoming of Sain and like the growth of Sain before the superlative was even added. I was up and down the streets of Brooklyn, the streets of Manhattan, Lower East Side. We used to skate across the bridges, whether Brooklyn Bridge or Manhattan Bridge. We would cut class, and like we were real skate rats. We would cut class and like go to the House of Vans every Wednesday, because they would have like a free open house skate. They would give out like pizzas and beer. I don't even think we were really supposed to be drinking beer at the time, but we drank beer. They didn't care. And that's also where they were having like performances, like at House of Vans. This is an established place, and they were having like performances for like independent music artists. So that was like the first time I ever had like a 20-minute set, and I was just like, this is crazy. People are literally packed in here to watch me perform, and it's really not to watch me perform. They were just in there when they weren't skating, but I just so happened to be performing at the same time. So that's where like it started blending, where my life as Matt, the skater, college kid, and then my life as Sain, the music artist, kind of started coming together. I started rapping about skateboarding and like everyday life and going to college and some Asher Roth shit.
You say Sain like it's an alter ego?
I'd like to think Sain is an alter ego. Sain is the person that has to perform in front of people. Sain is the person that even if I may not rock with your energy, I may still have to do business with you. So you're gonna do business with Sain, because he can differentiate the two. Sain is much more outgoing. Sain is the extroverted side of me. Matt don't like people. Matt like his people. Like I don't like calling people. I don't like, unless I really unless you in my circle, like my like family. Like I really don't be on the phone. Like whenever I go on tour, I tell myself before I even go on tour, all right, I'm gonna have to be saved for like a whole week straight. Not that there's an issue with that, but you know, when I'm in New York, I could turn it on and off. When I'm with my peoples, none of them call me Sain. They know Matt. They've known Matt since Matt was becoming Sain. So that's his family. There's a lot of people who don't know that Sain is not my real name. Like,
I didn't.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people, especially on my TikTok, my socials, that don't know that Sain is not my real name. I'll start with aesthetically. I would definitely say my aesthetic was created in my younger days through Toonami. For those who don't know, and if you don't know, uncultured swine. Toonami was basically the late night, before Adult Swim really took over. Toonami was like the late night, Saturday night, weekend nights block of Cartoon Network, where they would just air all the animes that you didn't even know that they were called animes. You were watching your Dragon Ball Z's, your Yu Yu Hakusho's, your whatever was playing at the time. And I didn't realize at the time that me watching those were like, all right, this is what I want to watch. Like, there's other cartoons as a kid that's on TV, yeah, I watch them, but this is like what I genuinely look forward to every week. The other shit, cool. This, I am excited for this. I didn't know that at the time that was like really cultivating a brand slash aesthetic slash like look slash mood slash vibe.
Whole persona.
Whole persona that I created for myself. From there, I got very heavily influenced with like Japanese culture and how it coincided with Black culture. Surprisingly, it does a lot. Like a lot of times, you'll look at a lot of Japanese streetwear, and it is like, if you break it all down, it's like that's clothes that Black people was wearing. And it's funny because Black people look at Japanese culture and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's just bring it all together. So as somebody who has taken the time over the years to create this aesthetic for myself, I started wearing things like kimonos. I ain't see nobody rocking kimonos. It's cool. I'm gonna rock the kimono with the baggy pants and the shoes, whatever. So aesthetic-wise, that's kind of what cultivated my aesthetic. I like colors. I like pastels. I like neon colors, but I also like pastel colors very much. I also like the fact that black being a shade could kind of just blend into almost any form of clothes, form of like aesthetic that you're going for.
Which explains the shirt.
Yeah, you feel like it's like half black and white, half mad color. When it comes to the music, I feel like when I first started making music, I always wanted to like sound like what was in, and I found myself like, how would you say, capping. I was capping, and
You can say projecting.
I was projecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though like I was around that lifestyle, like people around me were doing certain things, I knew damn well I wasn't doing it. But the niggas around me was doing it, so I would be talking about the things that's happening as if I'm also there, and I'm like, I'm not really there. So I was like, cool. That's not really who I am. I want to start making music that kind of more so showcases who I am as an individual. I like to be unfiltered. I like to be not really bogged down by a lot of things, and I like to, for lack of better terms, like be free, like a free-spirited person. So I would like my music to also convey that same type of vibe and emotion. Which also coincides with the aesthetic. Like, I love flowers. Like, that's a real thing. Like, I chose the Japanese cherry blossom as my flower, as the flower for the album, to like represent the album, because that's legitimately my favorite flower. I feel like the time of the year when the Japanese cherry blossoms start to blossom, it is gorgeous, dude. Like, if you go to the Brooklyn Botanical Garden around that time of the year, it's just mad beautiful pink and red colors and different hues and shit like that. So I definitely wanted to make music to show people like, yeah, I could be free-spirited and talk about the things I want to talk about, but I could also do it in a way that's easily digestible to the masses and to the public, to the people that listens to the everyday music on the radio and stuff like that. I would say the first one would probably be like my first mixtape that I ever put out. It was called Chimera. Chimera the Change Up. It was like my first solo mixtape. It was like a difference from like the music that I was putting out before, because I was a part of a group. I was doing, music with other people, and then this was like my first solo project out. So this was a different sound from what was already being put out. And I had like a release party for it. It was my first time attempting anything like this. Had a release party. It's funny because to this day, certain people who were at that release party, they still talk about it. They're like, yo, man, remember this? And I'll be like, damn, I almost forgot. But you definitely reminded me that we really came from a long time. We've been doing this shit for a while now. I would say that one was definitely a moment, more so into like the era where I started finding my sound and finding myself as an artist, finding my current sound. I would definitely say Tell 'Em was like my first streaming service project. It wasn't supposed to be an album, it was supposed to be an EP, but it turned into a album according to like streaming services. But I still don't view it as like my first album. I view it as my first EP. I think I had like eight songs on it. And I was like, damn, all right, cool. I guess it's an album. Yeah. But I don't view it as an album. Exactly, you feel me? It is what I say it is. It was definitely an EP. And that was definitely the moment where I started finding my sound. That was in like 2017. Mm-hmm. That was definitely the moment where it's like, that year specifically was the year that I started finding my sound, where it's like, okay, I'm a singer, but I also like to rap. I can rap pretty well. How do I fuse those things that's not Drake? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because people are like, oh, Drake's doing the singy rappy thing, cool. Tory's doing the singy rappy thing, cool. How do I do it in a way that's not Drake and not Tory? I was following this guy for since he was like 16, and then I started listening to how he incorporated singing and rapping into his music. It felt like he was singing, but he was rapping. So I was like, cool, I like that. Now let's hone it and make it my own. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and Tell 'Em came about, and it was definitely another shifting point from like the first solo project to this one. It was another shifting point where it was like, cool, this is the direction that I want to start making my music. I want to make impactful music. I want to make music that people are gonna listen to in a couple years and be like, yo, you was really talking your shit. It probably could have been mixed better, but you was really talking your shit on this one.
As I reach your door, yeah, the clothes that on the floor say you been needing more.
I got into that car accident, and it really changed, and it really changed my perspective on what I wanted to do with the music and where I wanted to go with the music. So I started really shifting my content on what I was talking about, and that's where I really started finding my sound. During that same year, I don't want to say reformed, but I formed a new group with my best friend, who was also a part of the first group I was a part of. We made a new group, and that's the OGWN. We found my bro Tega. Initially, it was Tega. It was me, Tega, and Diverse, and it was us three. And then Tega got like caught up with like a lot of shit was happening at the time with him. So not to say we dropped him, because it was never supposed to be a group. It was supposed to be a collective. So not to say we dropped him, but he kind of fell back as like one of the main faces of the group, and kind of just became like I'm affiliated with the group. Like I'm still with them, but you know, I'm doing my own thing as well. And then we picked up our producer, and that's, you want to know pivotal moments of my life? When I met my producer, J. Jules, Joshua Howard, that is my dog. That's my brother. That's my mans, man. Like, we met in City Tech as well. We were in classes together, and one day I just saw him in the cafeteria, Dolly, by himself. You know how big that damn cafeteria is. And I just saw him by himself, just big ass Beats Studio headphones. And I don't mean the pros, I mean the big metal studio headphones. And he's just tapping away on the computer, and I'm like, yo, what is this weird nigga doing, bro? Because, bro, when I tell you, he looked like a mad scientist in the middle of the cafeteria by himself. He got his food, whatever. So I pull up on him, and I'm like, yo, don't I got class with you? And he was just like, yeah, man, what's up? I'm Josh, da-da-da. And I'm like, what are you doing on the computer? You look a little crazy, bro. And he was just like, I'm actually making a beat. And I was like, oh, you make beats? That's fire. And he let me hear it, and I was like, yo, this beat go crazy. This beat slaps, dog. He's like, yeah, I'm making a song about napkins. I said, wait, what? He's like, I'm making a song about napkins and how Chipotle didn't give me no napkins when I went to buy my food just now. And I said, wait, you're doing that right now? He's like, yeah, I'm making the beat. I already started writing lyrics to it. And I was like, nah, you're a fucking genius. I was like, you're a genius, because who does that? Who goes to Chipotle, has like an uncomfortable time at Chipotle, and comes back and goes, I'm gonna write a song about not getting napkins. In a college cafeteria, produced the beat and everything. And bro, when I tell you the final product came out so fire, it just made me realize I need to work with this guy more. Then I found out he lived in Queens. I was like, it's over, bro. I'm gonna be at your crib like every day. And me and him started building a bond, and I was like, yo, you wanna be down with the group? Like, we need a producer, we need an in-house producer, and he also happened to be an engineer. So I was like, cool, we need an in-house producer and engineer. We came together, we made a project, we dropped it, and it went nuts. We were like, yo, we didn't expect this level of attention, but people were like, this project it sounds like you could play it at any time. Like, even if you was to play it 5 years from now, it would still be good. And that's good, timeless music. I was like, okay, cool. We continued for about like 2 years, and then life started lifing. 2019, Stuff started happening with Diverse and his family. Stuff started happening with Josh and his family. And at the time, I was like going through a breakup. And it was just weird because earlier that year, prior to the breakup, I had dropped another really good project that I thought, like, yo, this is good. Like, the rollout for it was amazing. Like, all I did was use my relationship. I said, cool, I'm gonna name this project after Shorty, drop it on her birthday, throw a release party / birthday party for her birthday, and just take mad pictures with me and her and slap the title of the project on it. That's my rollout. And it was probably, I would say it was the second most successful rollout that I've done for a project. And I was like, cool. It's sad because I will never do that again. I will never do that again because it's like shortly after the project came out, we broke up. Like kind of like, I want to say like towards the middle of the pandemic happening, my government money had stopped coming in. And this guy, Scott Morris, he runs a touring and booking agency. Does a bunch of shows in New York and stuff like that. So his media guy wasn't available to go on tours for like a couple tours. So he was just like, ultimately, he was like, yo, I need a consistent video guy and I need a new video guy who kind of not only is just gonna point and shoot, but who also understands the culture of what it is that we're doing. His old media guy was not black. That's all I will say. He asked me to come along on the tours, and initially it was a barter agreement. And it was, I come on the tours, I capture the media for the artists, I do the photos, the performance videos, and like a recap of the tour, as well as like interviews, testimonials, and shit like that. And I get to be on the tour as one of the artists, on top of being the media. That was the barter deal. He would cover my transportation, he would cover my stay, where I'm staying. All I would have to do is pay for food, have money to pay for food. That's it. So I did that and I rocked out. Basically, I was like interning for like a year. So I rocked out with him for like a year of touring. In between that time, I dropped my album. I dropped the Joy album, and I was just really using these tours. I really wasn't even thinking about the money at the time, but I was really using these tours to just push the hell out of the album. Like every city we touch, I'm like, yo, I got this album, it's fire, I got these visuals that I'm dropping, here's a couple songs that I'm gonna perform from the album. That helped the numbers organically go up. Every tour that I went on, I probably gained like 150 to 200 followers. Like that was like in the first year of me doing the touring was really where I started seeing like a lot of growth in my my following and my engagement on my socials and shit. This year, around August, I renegotiated my deal with the guy who does the tours and everything. And I was like, hey, we have been doing this for a year. I rock with what you're doing because I see the vision. However, I can't keep doing this for free and not making no money off of it. Because me even being on these tours is taking me away from my guaranteed money in New York, because I know I have clients in New York that need my services. But when I'm not here, there's nothing I can do because I'm on tour capturing your shit, not making money off of it. So we renegotiated our deal, and now I'm on the tours and I'm getting paid per show, on top of making money on the side from all the other extra shit that I do, whether it's like selling merchandise or selling other things. The merch really, I'm not gonna lie, the merch really, it really comes from like a minimalist point of view. Even in like a lot of things that I do, I like to be pretty minimal. So when it came to the logo and deciding how we wanted to do the logo, because the actual logo it has color. But I was like, I don't want when I put it on the merchandise, so when I put it on the clothes, for it to be like super color pop. I just kind of want one extra color. So if it's like on a black hat, I want white with yellow trimming for the glasses, because I decided that yellow, black, and white are going to be my brand's colors for Superlative Sain. So I just wanted the logo to be pretty simple. The merchandise really came a long way. I really, really had the Be Superlative merchandise, like the name for the merchandise. I've been doing that for since 2016. But it wasn't until this year where my best friend, Diverse, he's also a graphic designer. He and I kind of had a conversation because he was making these little characters and he wasn't going to do anything with them. And I was like, bro, you're wildin'. NFTs are huge right now. This would be the perfect opportunity to go into that field. So with that, I got one from him for myself. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start putting this on everything. And let's see how the crowd reacts to it. So first I dropped the logo on socials, and the reaction was way more than I thought it was even going to be. Like, people were like, yo, you should put this on merch. You should put this on merch. I was like, little do you know, it's already in development. This is just a test to see if y'all would even rock with it like that. And they did. So from there, I went to my boy, another one of my boys who does custom printing and embroidery. We kind of created a partnership, and we just started churning in orders. And cool, whenever I got an order, I just send him bread and he makes it and I hand deliver it. So that's another part of the whole guerrilla marketing thing. I could just send it off to you, but if you're in the New York area, I'm most likely gonna drive and hand deliver it to you in a bag with a little card, with a little bag paper and everything like that, because I really am a person that believes in presentation. So it's if the merch look good and it's presented in a really dope way, there's no way you can't fuck with it. There's no way. Music coming soon, if it hasn't dropped already. I have a lot of music that I'm sitting on. I've been creating music. This year I only put out one song, I think 2 visuals, 3 visuals, but you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of music in the vault, sitting on 4 different projects, just trying to figure out when I'm going to drop them, what is the right course of action to drop them, visuals, marketing, all of that other back-end stuff that you got to focus on and worry about once you start learning about it. So what I would say is just stay tuned. This year, I'm planning on dropping a lot. 2022, I didn't. So I let people have their time. You have your time, do your thing. I'm going to be dropping some heat soon. Some of the best music that I've written. So I'm very excited. If you want to know me and get to know me on a more personal, funny level, whatever, because I like to think I'm pretty funny sometimes. That's what the TikTok's for. The TikTok is just me being stupid, me being me, and occasionally there's music thrown in. The Instagram is literally my portfolio. It's I do music. That's what this is for.
Here it is.
Here it is. Also, book me for your music videos. I'm nice. I got a whole team. That man don't stop. That man is relentless. That man's drive is ridiculous. That man should probably give it up at some point. Because he's not stopping. Yeah, that's what I want them to remember.
For sure, I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
For sure.
I like shit like this. I don't get to talk often. I'm usually the person doing that.
Closed up on the floor, so you been needing more pleasure better than before. Let me learn your body, let me go explore, diving deep into your ocean.